Hey guys, it's Sam and this is my birthday book haul. It was just my birthday a week ago on August 12th and I got a bundle of books from both my friends and my family and Gerald's family, and it was just a book celebration pretty much. I pretty much, besides pre-orders for books that are coming out, I do not buy books, or I haven't at least this year, throughout the year. I save my books and add it to my wish list for like gifts and stuff, and that's worked out pretty well for me because I don't really have any things besides books that I need. Really, just like a few things that I asked for my birthday and like Christmas and stuff outside of books. So I have a large stack, but again, this is kind of like my total cumulative book haul for like almost the whole year because I don't buy books. I save them for presents because it's fun. The first set of books are all from BookTube friends, so I will leave everyone's channel that I mentioned down below. The first set of books that I got was from Kayla of Bookadoodles, and the first book that she got me, which I was pretty sure she was going to do, because when I added my wish list, I was like, this is a Kayla book, and that is The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. This is the first book in the Kingkiller Chronicles series, and it's one of Kayla's favorite, if not most favorite series. Like, it's that and Game of Thrones. Like, those are the two things that she pretty much loves the most, and I'm meaning to read this series basically because of her. Like, a lot of people love it, and a lot of people have recommended it, but Kayla and I like talk so often that when I read this, like I can basically line for line tell her and scream at her about the things that like I love about it. So I'm very excited to get to this. I've been on an adult fantasy kick this year. I'm going to start all the adult fantasy series and like just read all of it and just enjoy the like giant books. So I'm very, very excited about this. And the second book she got me was Captive Prince by C.S. Pacat. This is the first book in LGBTQ plus fantasy series, and I've heard mixed things about it, mostly positive, but I know that some people really don't like it, and I think I'm going to like it, but we'll see. I know that the series has been recommended by a ton of people, and people that recommend it say that you need to read the whole trilogy before you like judge the series, really. So I'm excited to get to this. I fully intend to read the whole series before I really like judge it. Like, I'm obviously going to do reviews on every single individual book, but I'm going to judge it as a whole. So really excited about this. I've heard amazing things. I need to get to it. The next book came from Aria of Book Geek Movie Freak, and that was Red Rising by Pierce Brown. This is the first book, and I believe an adult sci-fi trilogy, but I've also heard it classified as YA, so I think it's one of those like fine lines marketing things. But I've heard really amazing things about this one, that they're just really compulsively readable, and they're just a lot of fun, and it's not super hard sci-fi. Like, it's kind of like dystopian sci-fi, so interested to see how I feel about this. They just sound like a lot of fun, and I can't wait to get to it. The next book that I got was from Riley of Riley Marie, and that is The Dark Wife by S.E. Dimer. This is a lesbian Hades and Persephone retelling, and I've heard that it's amazing. I've been wanting to read this for like years now, and I just have never picked it up. Again, I've always had it on my wish list, and it's everything that I need in life. I heard it's one of the better Hades Persephone retellings, and I mean, you guys know how I feel. So I cannot wait to get to this. Like, it might be one of the books that I read in September because it just needs to happen. And it's fairly short, so I should be able to read it quickly, but like, God bless. The next book that I got was from Lainey of Ginger Reads Lainey, and that was Scarlet by A.C. Gowan. This is the first book in a YA Robin Hood retelling, and this is a retelling in which Robin Hood is actually a girl named Scarlet, and I've heard really amazing things about this. I haven't heard a ton about it on BookTube, but I know when the series was coming out, because the series is completed now, a lot of bloggers were talking about it and raving about it, and I've been meaning to get to it. It's been on my wish list like forever, ranked like really high, and now I finally have it, and I'm really excited. Like, I have such high hopes for this, so hopefully it does not disappoint, and I have not read, I don't think, any Robin Hood retellings, so this needs to happen soon. And the last gift that I got was from Alexa of Stormy Reads, and that was a Funko Pop of Hermione Granger. Alexa watched my Owl Crate unboxing where I got Draco Malfoy, and I talked in that video about how I don't buy Funko Pops for myself, I save them for gifts, and that Draco needs to have Hermione because Hermione is my OTP and like they need to be on my shelf, like, right? And she messaged me on Twitter and was like, hey girl, I have a spare Hermione. Do you want her for like a birthday gift? Because I know that you said that you don't buy Funkos for yourself. And I was like, oh my god, thank you. So she sent her to me, and she's by Draco on my Harry Potter shelf, and it's blessed. Like, they're together. It makes me so happy. So thank you again to all my amazing friends who sent me things for my birthday this year. And the next set of books are all from my family / Gerald / Gerald's family. So it's all like family books, and there's a lot in there. They really spoiled me this year, and I'm so excited. The first book that I got was Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson, and this is the first book in his giant Stormlight Archive series. I think it's going to be 10 books, and only 2 of them are out right now. So I did get the UK editions because it's split into 2. I know some readers think that's like sacrilegious that it's split. I am never going to read them separately. I'm going to read them like straight through, but this looks so much less intimidating to me on my shelf as like the giant US edition that's like this big. Like it's overwhelming to see that book. So I decided for the UK editions, because I can be like, oh look, I'm like almost done, even though I know I have the other one to read, like it just makes me feel better. So I got these, and they match my already existing Brandon Sanderson UK covers for Mistborn and Warbreaker, so needed it. And I'm actually finally really excited to read Stormlight. I know when I did my review for Mistborn, I was like, I don't know when I'm gonna read Stormlight. Like, I'm going to read it eventually, but I don't know. And like, everybody's been commenting to me about how Stormlight is just like his quintessential series, so I'm a lot less nervous than I was before. Speaking of Brandon Sanderson, I actually got a few books by him because they were all on my wish list because I want to start like all his books immediately, so I'll just get those out of the way. They were Elantris and Alloy of Law. Elantris is his, I believe, first book, and it's a standalone. It also takes place in the Cosmere universe of his, and then Alloy of Law is the first book in the Mistborn second trilogy. So my plan is to actually read Warbreaker, which I already own, and then read Elantris, and then possibly do the second Mistborn trilogy before starting Stormlight. I haven't decided yet which one to read first. We'll see. Look at how stunningly gorgeous they are. I'm gonna have to have a whole shelf just devoted to Sanderson, like, yay. Speaking of faves, I also got Red Seas Under Red Skies by Scott Lynch. This is the second book in the Gentleman Bastard sequence. I'm so excited. You guys know how I feel about The Lies of Locke Lamora. It's one of my favorite reads of this year. Like, it's definitely gonna make a ton of favorites lists for me at the end of the year. So I can't wait to get to this one. I might even like it more because pirates. I'm so excited. And I do plan on buddy reading this, which is gonna be even better. I'm so excited. Like, I know that the fourth book has gotten pushed back a little bit, but like, I just love these books so much that I need to read them as fast as possible. And like, I don't care that I have to wait for the next book because I'll have to wait for even more books in the series. So like, what does it matter? I'm getting a little like too excited talking about this, so I should probably just move on. The next book that I got was Temeraire by Naomi Novik. This is the first book in the Temeraire series, and this is a series that takes place in the Napoleonic Wars, but it's Napoleonic Wars with dragons. And I'm so excited. I think the series is now complete. I think the last book came out this year. It's everything that I need. Naomi Novik is one of my favorite authors just already because of Uprooted. Like, she's solidified herself as must read all of her stuff, and I've heard really good things about this. And dragons. Like, can you go wrong? No. And another exciting fantasy gift was Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb. This is the first book in the Farseer trilogy, and Robin Hobb, if you do not already know, has a number of trilogies that are all interconnected. You don't necessarily have to read them in order, but it's obviously recommended because otherwise you'll spoil stuff for other stuff. I really want to get to the second trilogy, which is the Live Ship Traders trilogy. Everyone says that that's like one of the best ones, but I know I'll be spoiled for this series if I read that one first, and I kind of want to read the series and see how it is. Like, it's not everyone's favorite, but it introduces you to the world. This first book isn't very long. I know they do get longer as it goes on, but these editions are stunningly beautiful, and I cannot wait to jump into Robin Hobb. Like, I know I'm going to be obsessed, and it's going to be like another Brandon Sanderson, Scott Lynch thing, but I need it. So, the next book that I was gifted was the Book of Strange New Things by Michelle Faber, and this has been recommended by a ton of people. I know it's Jen Campbell's favorite book, and I need to have it. It's like a science fiction. It's an adult science fiction. It's about a guy who's a missionary and he goes on a missionary trip to another planet. You know, sci-fi. But it's one of those character-driven sci-fis. I recently read The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet by Becky Chambers, and I feel like that's a very similar, not necessarily going to be similar plot at all, but character-driven, character-focused on like alien culture, stuff like that. And this one also focuses on religion and like doubts about religion and just stuff with religion, which I really enjoy reading in sci-fi and fantasy, so I'm excited to get to this. I don't know a ton about the synopsis because I really just want to go in as blind as possible with a book like this, but I've heard it's amazing, and I have seen like interviews with Michelle Faber, and he seems like a wonderful human being, so I'm very excited to get to this. And the last book I saved for last because it is a brick, and that is A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara. This was all over last year, the beginning of this year. This was shortlisted for the Man Booker. I think since it's won a few awards, I don't think it won the Man Booker, but it won some other ones. It's just been talked about a lot, and everyone recommends it for the most part. And either way, it leaves people with a very visceral reaction, and I've heard that people like still miss the characters, that it's really heavy, and that's kind of why I put off buying it myself, because I've heard that it's one of those books where it's emotionally devastating. It deals with some very hard topics, like sexual abuse and just abuse in general, and I'm sure depression and stuff like that. So it's not a book that you necessarily like plan to read because you know you're not going to feel that great when you come out of it, but I still really want to read it. I've heard it's beautiful, and I just need to know if I'm going to love it as much as everyone else does, or if I'm going to be some of the few that don't like it. So we'll see. I just know that I'm going to have a very emotional reaction to it regardless. So those are all the books that I got for my birthday this year. Comment down below and let me know what you think I should read first, because I don't know what I want to read first. There's so many things that I want to read. I know it's first world problems, I know, but like, I don't know what to do. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see all of you guys soon. Bye!